Today, 343 Industries' Frank O'Connor gives us a look at the future of the Halo franchise.
Plus, Modern Warfare 3 pro tips and a review of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. X-Play starts right now.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that gives life a 3 out of 5. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Morgan Webb. Almost a 4, but too much repetition.
Yeah. Coming up, we'll help you boost your kill-death ratio with some Modern Warfare 3 pro tips straight from the developers. Then we've got a brutally honest review of the seizure-inducing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Plus, something Angry Birds related that isn't annoying. We've got the horror short, The Birds of Anger. And later, Casey Schreiner has all the latest news in this week's MMO report. Don't believe what they say, shaving changes a person.
Yes, you can get nicks. But first, it's time to talk Spartans and Halos.
The recently released Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary is a great trip down memory lane and scored a 5 out of 5 from us.
But what lies in the future for the franchise? We went to the source, 343's Frank O'Connor. Halo Combat Evolved rocked the gaming world in 2001, instantly earning killer app status. We've been smitten ever since.
About time you showed up.
Halo didn't just revolutionize shooters on the console, it practically invented them. Halo is visually stunning, tantalizingly mysterious, and handled like a Ferrari 458 Italia. Why did Halo succeed where so many had failed? I bet Frank O'Connor from 343 Industries knows.
Forget story, forget graphics, forget technology, all that stuff. The main difference is how you move the cursor. What Halo does is it attaches a very mild magnetism to the reticle. And so it's trying to predict what you intended to do and do that in a way where you don't feel like you're losing control. And so there's this perfect sweet spot.
Wake up, kids. It may sound dry, but this kind of under-the-hood wizardry makes all the difference. $2 billion cash money worth of difference. Gamers have purchased over 40 million copies and logged more than 3.3 billion hours of online play in the Halo universe. And with 343 Industries taking the mantle from Bungie, the chief shows no signs of slowing down. What's it like to be given the keys to an 8-foot-tall cyborg who looks good in green?
Holistically, as an organization, we made a couple of philosophical decisions a few years ago. And one of the things was that everything is going to count. Everything is going to have meaning. So there won't be any more side stories that don't go anywhere.
I do know how to pick 'em.
The most important question when making a Halo game isn't whether or not you're going to follow Robert McKee's principles of storytelling.
And it's the core gameplay. Does it feel like a Halo game while I'm running, shooting, and driving? That is already captured. The essence of that is already done. We're testing pieces of Halo 4 right now, and it feels very classic and very true to the original game and the best parts of the sequels. And there's things we're doing right now that are new to the Halo universe, and they're different than you might have experienced. But they won't ultimately affect how you feel about your moment-to-moment gameplay, and hopefully they'll feel like they're layering on new sort of ways to invest in your game and enjoy your game and enjoy your experience in the Halo universe. If you're a Halo fan and you deeply immerse yourself in the fiction and the novels, there will be things that happen in Halo 4 that are going to have incredible resonance. You'll say, aha, a lot of times. But I would also add that we built this story so that it's kind of a fresh start for the universe.
A fresh start we'll have to wait all the way till next year's holiday season to experience. Until then, we'll just play another round of Hang 'em High.
Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer is extremely competitive. An embarrassing performance will only lead to ridicule and hate speak from people that aren't old enough to drive. So if you're looking for an edge on the competition, just listen to these pro tips from Infinity Ward's Robert Bowling.
Hey, I'm Robert Bowling, 402. Creative strategist on Modern Warfare 3. And I have some multiplayer tips to help you rank up even faster. So a great tip with objective play is you always need that situational awareness. And one of the new equipments we added is the portable radars. This is great for assaulting just as it is for defending, because now when you throw out an equipment, you can pick it up, you can relocate it. So what I will do is when I'm running through and I'm about to go into a building, I will toss the portable radar through a window so I can see, is anybody camping in there, anybody covering that door frame before I run in. And then I'm picking up the equipment as I'm running out the other side. Another great use for the portable radar is when you're playing Search and Destroy.
Search and destroy.
When you have things with multiple points, you can't have eyes on an objective at all times. So what I'll do is I'll throw the portable radar on bomb site A, and then I'll go visually watch bomb site B. That way I have situational awareness on every objective. So when I'm watching B and I know no one's on it, I will get a proximity ping anytime somebody walks in on A. That way I can get up and start heading over there. Sound in Modern Warfare 3 is so essential. Using Stalker Pro is an excellent way to delay the explosions of things like a claymore. When you hear that click of a claymore, first thing you want to do is try to be sprinting past the blast radius, but with a bouncing Betty, it is a very different sound. You'll hear it pop up. First thing you want to do when you hear that cling of it popping up, go prone, because if you go prone, you'll actually be under the blast radius and won't take any damage. So a lot of the perks you can use in multiple different ways. Things like the new Marksman perk, which allows you to identify a target at longer distance. You instantly think it's perfect for snipers because it allows them to post up, see enemies from further away. But it's also a great counter sniper tool for running gunners because you're running from cover point to cover point and you're scanning those sight lines, you're scanning the window seals, the cover points. You're going to be identifying that target just as much as he's identifying you to see where he's posted up. So with these tips, you're going to be heading to Prestige in no time.
Good job.
Enough with all the bickering about what should win Game of the Year. You can decide this year's Viewer's Choice Award in G4's Video Game Deathmatch.
This is why we came here.
The dust has settled and 16 of the year's best games remain standing. Now, however, is not the time to tend to your wounds. Video Game Deathmatch Round 2 starts right now, and you make the call on who will be crowned King of all games. The battle rages on at g4tv.com/deathmatch, and you've got 1 week to lock in your votes, so make your voice heard now. In Round 1, Battlefield 3 trounced Modern Warfare 3 in one of the bloodiest battles Deathmatch has ever seen. Now Battlefield goes hunting for necromorphs as they face off against Dead Space 2. Will Jensen be able to sneak his way to the next round with Deus Ex Human Revolution? Or will he find a roadblock in the form of Xbox 360 exclusive Gears of War 3? First-person shooter takes on first-person puzzler as id's post-apocalyptic Rage faces off against GLaDOS and the rest of Valve's Portal 2.
We both said a lot of things that you're going to regret.
Two epic series face off against each other as the flying death dealers of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim take on the flying fists of Mortal Kombat.
You will learn respect.
Head on over to g4tv.com/deathmatch to vote. Each week, fans will cut the contenders in half until only one survives. The winner of the Viewer's Choice Game of the Year award will be announced on XPlay's Best of 2011 Awards Wednesday, December 14th.
Coming up on XPlay, we've got a review of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and an all-new MMO report with Casey Schreiner and his facial hair. Plus, you don't want to miss the killer short film, The Birds of Anger. But first, let's see who's dominating today's leaderboard for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, fueled by Mountain Dew's Rank Up experience. Go to the store, grab some specially marked Mountain Dew, log on your computer to doxp.com, enter the code WRXP, and get to the top of the leaderboard so your gamertag can be on XPlay and you can be better than your friends.
Here are this week's top 5 selling iPad games. Considering this game is a Gears of War clone, maybe it should be called Shadows of War, or Gears of Shadowgun. Number 4 is a shocker, Angry Birds HD. There's gotta be a virus that makes people buy this game without their knowledge, right? Coming in at number 3 is Where's My Water? This physics-based puzzle game is all about rerouting water and comes from the designer of Jellycar. Number 2 is Angry Birds Seasons HD, because you haven't played Angry Birds until you've played the Flag Day version. But the number 1 selling iPad game is Scribblenauts Remix. Considering this cost a fraction of what the DS version sells for, this is a steal.
Angry Birds is a juggernaut that is showing no signs of letting up. The mobile game has been downloaded over 500 million times. Now there's merchandise and even talk of a movie. Sadly, I don't think it'll be as good as this take on the franchise. Here's The Birds of Anger, brought to you by former X-Play editor Greg Bishop and G4 pervert Joe Lynch.
I'm not staying the night.
You like me, don't you?
I loathe you.
Hello, Mitch. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Well, how do you do, Miss Daniels?
How did you know my name?
A little birdie told me.
Melanie, this is my neighbor, Annie.
I brought you some eggs. Mitch said that you love quiche.
Excuse me, ladies.
Nice purse.
Phone's dead. You feeling okay?
Where did you get these eggs? I'm trying to get inside.
Man, these birds are really angry.
You forgot your purse.
To see the full uncut version, go to g4tv.com/g4films. Coming up, we've got a brutally honest review of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the only fighting game that has Phoenix Wright as a playable character. Plus, all the headlines in this week's MMO report. We'll be right back. For all the latest gaming news, just follow our page on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/xplay and click like. I think we're all accustomed to Capcom's plan for fighting games. You pay $60 at launch for something that mostly works, then the real version comes out later and costs a lot less. So, should you buy Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Find out in our review. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out way back in February. So obviously, it's time to make everyone buy another version of the game, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. 9 months is long enough for a human to gestate, and it's long enough for a $60 fighting game's total lifespan, apparently. Ultimate features 12 new characters joining the already large roster, including some fan favorites and a couple of surprises. On the Capcom side, highlights include Frank West, Dante's brother Virgil, and Strider finally making a return to the series.
Strider Hiryu, ready for battle.
And Marvel fans will be happy to see several characters never before featured in a Capcom fighter, such as Hawkeye, Iron Fist, and the extremely cool-looking Ghost Rider. There are also the offbeat inclusions, like Marvel's Rocket Raccoon, a hyper-violent anthropomorphic weapon expert.
Let's see how cute I am after I strangle you with your own intestines.
And the much-requested Phoenix Wright, a somewhat controversial inclusion due to the fact that, well, he's not a fighter, really. Luckily, the rule of cool won out over martial arts prowess.
Objection overruled!
An improved online mode adds the should-have-been-in-there-in-the-first-place spectator mode. And yes, you can finally play as Galactus in a special offline-only mode, if you're into the whole planet-eating thing.
You will not.
One irritating thing to note, Jill Valentine and Shuma Gorath, the paid DLC characters from the original game, if you've already bought them, they'll show up, but they are not included in Ultimate by default. Kind of a dick move, Capcom.
Give up your life of crotch.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 really does have something for everyone. Casual players will enjoy how true to their roots all the characters are, while hardcore players will be glad to see many of the glitches of the original fixed. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 gets a 4 out of 5.
After the break, you better head for cover because Casey Schreiner is going to rain some knowledge down on your noggins in this week's MMO report. He does not mess around. We'll be right back. Good news, Casey Schreiner fans. We've got some facts for you. Number one, he can bench press 400 pounds.
He's wiry but strong.
Number two, fought in not one, but both of the Gulf Wars. He did that.
He's a hero.
And most importantly, bees allergic to him.
Well, I have another fun fact for you. He can actually see through time. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, here he is, the hero, with this week's edition of the MMO report. Let's watch.
Thanks, Morgan. Side note, I also poop diamonds. EverQuest 2 is finally joining the cool kids and going free to play. SOE's Dave Georgeson stated that the changeover will happen in December, giving players the option of keeping their premium subscription or moving over to microtransactions. SOE even plans to refund 50% of the original purchase price for anyone who has bought a race or class pack in the past 60 days, just so no one feels like they got screwed for being an early adopter. Way to get into the spirit of the season, Sony. Nothing says holiday cheer like giving us a reason to play video games instead of spending time with our friends and family. Well, Minecraft has finally gone gold and was officially launched at Minecon in Las Vegas this past weekend. Attendees of the newest NerdCon received alpha code vouchers for Mojang's next two games, Scrolls and Cobalt, as well as the honor of being witness to video gaming history. That is if you count the Guinness World Record for the most nerds wearing painted cardboard boxes on their heads in one place as gaming history. For even more news from the world of MMOs and an all-new full episode of the MMO Report every Thursday afternoon, just type in g4tv.com/MMO. Because I have to go punch out an old lady to get my hands on that $300 HD TV at Best Buy, and check out what's coming up on XPlay.
Next week, you don't want to miss XPlay's Holiday Buyer's Guide. We'll help you find the perfect gift and save some cash at the same time. Whether you're looking for Xbox 360 exclusives, PS3 must-haves, or the best shooters, we've got you covered.
if you like to buy stuff or if you like to receive stuff,
Yeah.
you need to tune in for this. Everyone likes to buy things, and
Yeah.
it's even better when someone buys it for you.
Exactly. And that's always the problem with the holidays is that you don't want to get a game that you already have. You have to trade it in, you get a lot less for it. It's
Well, it's
better
also-
if you make a list, maybe.
If you look at the games that we have available
Yeah.
right now, I mean, this can be really useful. If you look at years past, it's like, yeah, those are the 2 games you want. Now it's like, here's one of 8.
Too many choices. We'll guide you. Thanks for watching X Play.